comment section on our website, for example, at the Tyee, you would think that ministers control the entire ministry that they stand in front of. So, but as you said yourself, I mean, you only had so much control. So could you give us I guess like a quick, broad overview of what exactly a minister is responsible for and what powers they have?
Sure can. And so, I mean, it's going to depend on the ministry to some extent, but I'm glad to give you a sense of that. So the point I was making around ministers don't control, that was around ministers don't control their budgetary amount. That's a decision of Treasury Board. Treasury Board can decide you're going to have a 5% reduction, a 5% increase, or stand pat. They make that decision, not the minister. Within the ministry itself, so I was really fortunate in terms of becoming an education minister at a time when I had a decade of experience in other ministries. I had a ministry that was really anxious to move on a series of reforms like the BC education plan and so on. So I came there at a great time. I'd also say, and again, I'm not always a fan of the current premier from a policy perspective, but she was very good in letting me basically do a variety of things in that ministry without a lot of interference from the Premier's office. So that was really good. So, you know, I think, you know, as a minister, I exercised real power over a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, you never make these decisions independently. You're part of a cabinet, you're part of a government, you're part of a broader education system where there are many players and many sources, both of support and of opposition, and all of that is good. I think the opposition often helps you make better decisions than you might without opposition. So that's a good thing. But no, a minister has real power if they choose to use it. Some don't. Some will sit on their hands as long as they can and not do a lot of policy adventures and so on. I really enjoyed education for that reason. But you know, the monetary side was defined by others. What I did with it, I had some considerable choice over.
Okay. Do you believe that you were given a long leash, for lack of a better term? Do you believe the current Minister of Education is on a much shorter leash?
I don't know. I mean, I doubt it. I doubt if he's on a hugely shorter leash than I was. I probably had more leash because I had just come out of the leadership campaign, and I mean, obviously the Premier was trying to build some solidarity within cabinet and government, and so, you know, as someone who kind of arrived there independently, I guess I probably had a longer leash. But I suspect, you know, Christy Clark is not quite like Gordon Campbell was. Gordon Campbell was very intense on the policy side, very demanding. Cabinet meetings were long, and he demanded much more than I think you know, the current Premier does in terms of you know, sort of being on top of every policy thing going on in the universe of cabinet.